Hello and welcome to our Celebrate Black History Leadership Spotlight presented by the Ford Motor Company Fund. During this series, we're inviting social innovators, leaders we respect, to share their experience and insight on empowerment as we reflect on the past and collaborate to build a better future. I'm Cynthia Jones, Director of Museum Experiences and Engagement at the Henry Ford. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Gina Coleman, Chief Diversity Officer for PNC. Welcome, Gina.
I'm glad to be here, Cynthia. Thank you.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your role at PNC?
Sure. I'm Gina Coleman, and as you stated, I am the Chief Diversity Officer here at PNC Bank, where I lead the development and implementation of strategies and programs that help to further build and sustain a talented, diverse workforce and a culture of inclusion. I also ensure that PNC continues our commitment to growing an increasingly diverse customer base by supporting business initiatives geared towards understanding the unique financial needs of our customers and communities where our employees live and work. I am born and raised in Paterson, New Jersey, and I come from a fairly large family, 7 kids. I am the 6th of the family, and my little sister is the 7th. I point this out because we were the only ones our parents could afford to send to college. So as a first-generation college graduate, I'm forever grateful for the blessing of higher education. I moved to the Metro Detroit area in 2005. My husband and I have an adult son and a daughter in college.
Wow, awesome. Thank you so much for that info about yourself. I love hearing that you're from such a large family. I wonder if that kind of drives your passion for my next question.
Yeah.
So, we know that PNC collaborates with community organizations like us and families and youth in your Grow Up Great program to empower the next generation. Can you tell us about the Grow Up Great initiative?
Absolutely. Since 2004, PNC has supported high quality early childhood education through PNC Grow Up Great, which is a $500 million multi-year bilingual initiative to really help prepare children from birth to age 5 for success in school and in life. And so we think building on this understanding that education really is a powerful means for economic and social mobility, the initiative has a particular emphasis also on helping underserved children.
Nice. I think that's, I love to think about that as empowering at the very initial stages of life and setting folks up for a great future. So tomorrow, Grow Up Great here at the museum involves our PNC Tinkering for Tots program, which is just one of our favorites. Each month, we feature a habit of innovation that we focus on. Tomorrow's habit is challenge the rules, turn can't into can do, which I assume is something you embrace. What is the way that PNC is challenging the rules to make a better future, especially for young people of color in those underserved communities?
Sure, I'm not sure if this qualifies as a rule challenge, but PNC is providing some significant financial support for our historically Black colleges and universities, better known as HBCUs, throughout our corporate footprint, which includes a recent announcement for a $16.8 million foundation grant to create the Howard University and PNC National Center for Entrepreneurship. And I bring this up because I think representation matters, and historically HBCUs are underfunded compared to other prominent institutions. So I believe these investments will help to drive innovation through entrepreneurship, and thinking about how we're supporting our young people today puts them on a path to higher education. So I think these types of investments are important, and investments in entrepreneurship really help to drive innovation.
I love that. And I think you're absolutely on point there. I know entrepreneurship is something here at the museum we've really championed, and love to hear that you're doing that initiative at Howard. That is a huge investment. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for doing that. So this month, we're in the midst of Black History Month, which, we know is not just a month, but is the month we get to put the spotlight on that.
Yeah.
As we think about that, who's a leader who's inspired you in Black history?
So I will say this is always a difficult question for me because so many come to mind. And so when I think about entrepreneurship, it's Madam C.J. Walker. And then when I think about civil rights, it's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., John Lewis, Rosa Parks, of course. And then from our most recent history, President Barack Obama and our first Black and female Vice President Kamala Harris. Black history is always celebrating the first, and those are the folks that always come to mind. But I will say, my everyday role models and inspiration are really my parents, who provided me and our family such a loving and giving home and access to higher education that is, that's truly invaluable.
It is. And, I love that you could just do such a huge list. And I was sitting there going, oh, we have this person in our collections. We represent this in our collections. And that was so great. And I love that you started with Madam C.J. Walker. That is, she has a story that I think is sometimes undertold, and really sharing that entrepreneurial spirit, that drive, that businesswoman. I could see her successful today.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I love that. That's great. And I love that you ended with your parents, because I think that, the folks who take care of us, that's our foundation.
Yeah.
So, thank you. And that probably leads to my last question, which is what drives you? We see you as a leader. What drives you to support and inspire the leaders of tomorrow?
Well, representation matters, and it really does have a profound impact on our future generation of leaders. Which means I have a responsibility to be a positive role model. I'm sure people are watching me, and I would hope if there's a young lady or a young gentleman that don't see themselves in certain roles, that when they look at me, they feel inspired, and like others have been for me. And so it's important for me that I give my time and energy and resources to support their drive to have a successful and productive future.
Awesome. Gina, thank you so much. Thank you for giving your time this morning with us and for sharing all the great work that PNC is doing and that you're helping to lead there. So appreciate you. I really do feel like bringing leaders like yourself forward is a great role model and a way to empower communities. So thank you for that. Thank you for the investments you're making. And for those that were watching us today, thank you for tuning in. This is the kickoff of the series for February, so please tune in throughout the month. There's lots of incredible folks sharing their stories with us and with you. And we hope that you find a really impactful way to celebrate Black History Month, and not just make it a month, but make it a year-round commitment. We invite you to visit us here in Dearborn, Michigan at the Henry Ford, or online at thf.org. to learn about the leaders, innovators, inventors, and entrepreneurs who inspire us every day.